Hi everyone, welcome to lesson number 9 of how to read Japanese. Now let me start by making a correction to one mistake I've made in earlier video. It's here. He. In earlier video I told you to write he, you go like that, moving this way. However, I realized that some sources say that it should be this way, with a little bit of a sweep maybe, and then you go like that. Well, but I'm not sure. I know that many people do it in this way, but it seems that plenty of people also do this one too. So I guess they're both okay. Yeah, so you can do it any way you like. So today we're finally gonna go to this last character. Oh, but before that, we've seen these 50 sound table. So I'm going to show you how you can memorize the order of these consonants. Well, but it's not a special way. What you do is just you say them all very quickly. Let's see if you can do that. Here we go. Akasata na hamayara wa. Can you repeat after me? Akasata na hamayara wa. Okay, that's the way you memorize these order. Okay, now let's go to this one. Now let me start by showing how to write this. You first make a little dot here, and then from the left bottom, you sweep up to the right, like that. All right. Now, but as I've said in the previous video, look at here. It looks very, very similar to this one. Look how they resemble each other. So let me show you how to distinguish these two. Okay, so this one is so, right? So let's write it. Now, the typical difference is actually how the inclination of the strokes are. So the case of this character, oh, sorry, I haven't even told you how to pronounce it. But let me talk about this first. So actually, the inclination from the horizontal line tend to be less than 45 degrees. But in this case, so it should be nearly 45 or sometimes more than 45 degrees. That's the main difference. And there's a good reason for that, because this was exactly what was the case with here, she and tsu, because she and tsu, they go 1, 2, 3, and they go 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what is going on this one and so. So this character and so, we go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, but if you make it too much vertically, like this, that will be mistaken as li, I guess. So be careful. Okay, now let's learn how to pronounce this one. Actually, this sound represents an alphabet in Roman alphabet. It's actually N. However, it's completely different from this N over here. This N is that should be combined with the vowels, right? But this one is not. Actually, this is what we call nasal sonant, or nasal consonant. And that's what exactly this character means. And if I were to read this one character, only one character, I would say like that's it. But it's actually very difficult to pronounce if you were an English speaker, because in English you have several nasal sonants. You see, one is N, one is M, and one is you go this, right? NG sound. So let's say sun, some, and sung, right? You have 3 kinds of nasal sonants. And since this sound is represented by the alphabet N, you will think this would be this one, but it's not. Actually, it can be N sometimes, of course, but amazingly, this can be actually M or NG or even something else, or maybe something else's. So that's why it's very hard to explain to English speaker. But I'll explain this so that it'll be very easy for you to understand. So let me try. And I'm going to do this in real actual word examples. So first of all, let's try this word. Okay. How about this and okay, let's try these two words. If I were to put this in Roman alphabet rule, it would be the first one, second one, the third one. In this case, right? If I were to pronounce onna, this means female. Ondo, this means temperature. So in these cases, these N are pronounced as N. Yeah, of course, it's N, so it's N. Very easy. But there's a good reason for that. The next consonant that is coming after this sound N is, in this case, actually N. And in this case, it's D. In these kind of cases, the N sound will be pronounced as N in English. Well, I'm not sure I'm being very clear. Okay, I should explain it with this one again. So as you can see, the thing that's coming after this sound is N, the green one. So N is, of course, like this, right? And how about D? Well, D is also here. And how about T? Right. And how about R? Japanese R, I mean, or CH. Yeah, all these sounds uses the tongue shape pretty near to this one. That means it'll be very easy to pronounce if the N sound before those were just like N shape. So that's why the N here should be the sound of N. So the rule is the one coming next is N or D, T, or something like that. This one will be N, okay? Now let's move on to this next example. How about this? Well, this is where it gets difficult. Okay, how about this? This one is right. So how do you pronounce this N? Well, it's N, so of course it's N. No, it's not. Actually, very interestingly, it becomes an M. Well, this would be pretty difficult for an English speaker. It's written as N, but it will be pronounced as M. And the reason is, I'm sure you're already seeing the reason. Look at the letters that's coming after. It's M or B, which means an M sound is made by these lips, and B too, and also P. In this case, don't you think it would be easier if this sound wasn't an N, and rather it was an M. So actually you pronounce this like sama or tambo. So you don't have to make the N-shape tongue at all. You don't have to do that. Just directly go to M shape. So actually, I'm sure you're seeing what it is. This character means it is just a nasal sonant and period. That's it. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say you have to speak N. It doesn't say you have to speak M. It doesn't say you have to speak NG sound. It says just make a nasal sonant. That's all, in any way you like. Okay, now I'm going to give you another example. How about this? Or okay, this one is this, which means an apple. Okay, this one means oxidization. Well, I couldn't come up with a natural word. Okay, and how about these N's? How do you pronounce them? Well, I'm sure you're already seeing what it is. It's NG, because G and K, this kind of sound is made with your tongue like this, right? G and K. So why not make the nasal sonant with that shape to begin with, right? So you don't have to make N sound at all. You just directly go to this shape and go ringo and sanka. All right. So if you're an English speaker, that will be all nasal sonants you can think of. But in Japanese, it's not. So let's put it here. And how about this? Okay, these are. Okay, now how do you pronounce these N's? Well, I don't know how to write this one. But actually, the ones that come after N are, for example, I, W, Y. Well, it doesn't have to be I. It's what I mean is it's a vowel, or W, Y, or maybe an H will be the same thing. And what else? Is it all? I'm not sure. But anyway, vowel doesn't put your tongue to anywhere, right? You just go through. And wa, W sound goes through, right? And Y sound, yeah, it goes through. H sound, well, yeah, usually you make the sound from here, but basically you don't use your tongue, so it goes out. So that means if you want to make the nasal sound very easily, you don't want to even put your tongue to the upper jaw. So you don't even do the N sound, you don't even do the NG, you don't even touch your lip. What you do is you just squeeze your root of your breath. I just squeeze and make most of the air to go to the nose. So actually you can make a nasal sonant without actually shutting down your root through your mouth. Why don't you try doing that? I hope you can see what I mean. So in this case, it goes like "ai, ai." Well, I hope you can understand. I don't even doing these kind of things. Just squeezing my breath. "ai." Okay, this one. 3は、3は. And this one. 関与、関与. Well, sometimes maybe this side, or I'm not sure which part it is, but maybe sometimes it barely touches. But actually, we don't care this kind of thing when we speak. Normally, I think they're not touching. So just you should practice. Okay. And it is true that I mentioned as sometimes sh sound or maybe ts sound after n would cause an n-like sound because ch and ts are something like this always this area. So easiest way would be n sound, but isn't it a little bit different from n? N is more wider, but for example ts, tsu, is more sharp. Your tongue is sharp. So actually when you speak n before tsu, well, let's give you an example. Okay, this is kan tsu u. In this case, I guess you would make an n sound, n-like sound, with a tongue of tsu. So with this sharp shape of your tongue, you make an n-like sound. So kantsu, but it's not an English n. English n is wider, but you're using only this ts shape for the n sound. So it's like kantsu. So in the case of ch2, you make an n-like sound with your tongue being ch shaped. And well, I guess this kind of thing is actually the case with English too, because in English, let's say in intake or contain, these are n's, because the next one is in this case, for example, t. But you go import or combine. So it's m's, because the one after that is p or b. Yeah, that's exactly what is going on here too. Oh, and one more example. What about when a word ends with this character? For example, this is mikan, which means orange. In this case, nothing is after that, so you don't have any rules here. But usually, I believe we tend to use this one or maybe this one when it ends with n. I think these are very rare in this kind of case because these two are a lot more easier than doing these two things. It requires little energy to do that. So now, after all, I'm sure you're very confused now. You're thinking that this last character is very, very difficult. But here's a tip of how you can understand it. Actually, forget about it. Forget about all of these and just think that is nasal sonant. That's it. Nothing else. I mean, of course, we Japanese don't think about these kind of things when we speak. We're not even aware of these differences when we speak because we're just thinking this character means a nasal sonant and that's all we have to do. We're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna speak N because it's N and D. Oh, I'm gonna speak M because it's M or B. Oh, I'm gonna speak NG because it's G or K. No way. So just think it this way. Just make a nasal sonant in any way that is the easiest for you. So if you do that, that will automatically make you stick to these rules. It'll automatically be N, automatically be M, or automatically be NG, according to the sound that is coming after that. If you just try to make it the easiest way. Okay? For example, if someone calls my name, hey Hidechi, and I say, what? In Japanese, we go like, yeah, that's what we say. And in this case, if I was, for some reason, having my lips shut, at that time, I will say, and if my mouth was open, I would go, maybe, So, yeah, it doesn't matter, right? And I guess this is pretty similar to what we see in Korean. In Korean, for example, this difference of K and G, to Korean, actually these two are exactly the same. They don't even care about the difference between K and G when they speak. Well, there are actually a practical rule when they speak K and when they use G, but they're not even aware of the difference when they do that. All they're thinking is they have to make a sound from here. That's all. I think it's pretty similar to what is going on this sound in Japanese. Oh, and actually, the thing about K and G in Korean has to do something about the concept of Japanese pronunciation, actually. So I'm going to talk about this thing in later lesson again. It's pretty interesting to mention, but it's not the topic of this video, so I'm going to leave that out now. So actually, that's all for this video. It's been a pretty long one. Sorry about that. Hope you understood. So now that we've learned all the 50 sound table, we're going to have to learn a couple of more things. So in the next video, we're going to learn small katakanas. And the one after that, I'm going to cover foreign sounds. So please look forward to it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.